Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and I'm joined with my buddy Gavin Downey, Group Product Manager for Epson. We're going to talk about ISE and what they're doing at ISE. Obviously, Epson's one of the bigger exhibitors at ISE, and you always do, Gavin. First off, how are you doing, by the way?
Happy New Year, Gary. It's great to see you. It's always the beginning of the year with ISE, and it's good to talk to you about it. Yeah, doing really well. Thanks for asking. Good to see you.
Well, I always enjoy going to your booth. You usually do some sort of spectacular imaging, fun thing that's more immersive and unique. I mean, you've done things like attach projectors to robots, have them move and have everything stay in focus. You've done a lot of image mapping stuff. You've done some weird object angled stuff. Last year, you had a phenomenal demo of how you can use Microsoft Teams Front Row in a more immersive environment with projection. So I love going to your booth every year. You're going to be in Stan 3J100, and Epson uses ISE as sort of like a launch pad for Infocom. Ironically, I know that your European team probably doesn't like to hear this, but really, you go to ISE with all your new stuff that you're going to have shipping by Infocom. So our audiences around the world love our coverage of yours because they kind of get a sneak peek of what they're actually going to see come the summertime. So I'm curious, like, what's going to be the big focus at this year's booth?
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Yeah, I think I remember when we went through the tunnel a few years ago. That got a lot of people were really excited about that. So no, thanks. I think you're right. I think ISE's taken an increasingly important role for people in the U.S. and Canada to really get an idea of what's coming down the pipe. So what you can look forward to at our stand this year is we're going to have a giant Technicolor umbrella that is influenced everything from Portugal, which has a wonderful umbrella festival, to festivals in Barcelona, to Japanese celebration of cherry blossoms. So it's really a bringing together of cultures around the world in this giant structure in the form of an umbrella. So we're really excited for people to come see it. And I think, one theme that's sort of a through theme for this year for us is really show, don't tell. I think we're in an experiential world, right, where people are a lot less interested in digging through specification sheets and all that type of thing. And they want to see it, right? They want to experience it and they want to feel it. And a lot of the decision makers in our communities are being tasked with upgrading, whether it's a theater or an auditorium, and really what they care about. And it's show me what you got. Let's take a look at it. Viewing distances are getting closer. Expectations for color are getting, bigger. And so it's a great time for us. We're really excited to have a big stand this year.
So it sounds like you're going to focus on showing products in different applications, sort of testing their limits.
I think that's a really good way of characterizing it, right? Like, I don't think we never really play it safe. Last year, we showed very early engineering samples of some really exciting gear. And then this year, you're going to see, our brand new 4K solutions, 8 million pixels, much broader. Everything from 8,500 lumens to 10,000 lumens, 13,000, 16,000, 20,000. So a really broad array of 4K solutions. And they're going to be deployed in a way that invites you to come up very close. We're not going to play it safe. We want technical decision makers, and we want to solicit their input on how we've done so far. And that's really the sort of the engine for innovation, is listen to your more discerning customers and then integrate their feedback.
I will give you some credit. You had a brilliant idea. 10 years ago, you came to me and said, we're going to get in a large venue. Don't tell anybody yet, but we're going to get in a large venue, and here's what we've learned, and here's how we're going to do it. And your idea of making sure that your lenses were backward and forward compatible forever was a genius idea. I'm throwing up an image of the lenses. I think that's the reason why you're successful there, is because you literally took the position of supporting the rental and staging companies in a really unique way to say, look, if you buy into the Epson ecosystem, you don't have to worry about the investment in the most expensive part of it, which is the lenses, because we're going to protect you all the way through.
Yeah, I think that it's an important point. And you're right. It really was sort of generated out of rental and staging because we were an incumbent or we were an insurgent back then, and the incumbents had a lot of glass in inventory. But I think as time's gone on, and what we've recognized is some of the biggest beneficiaries of that strategy have been fixed installation.
Yeah.
We've got great relationships with global and large universities, and they had lamp-based interchangeable lens projectors, and now they're cycling all those out, and it's like a $2,000 or $3,000 savings per location because they can repurpose that lens. So while it was, to your point, it was originally really geared towards, you know, the rental and staging and dry hire communities, I think the fixed lens or the fixed installation communities have probably benefited at least as much or possibly more.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there's a lot more fixed install large venue stuff happening than ever before. That is a big growth area of high brightness projectors. You're going to be in Hall 3 stand 3J100. You won't be able to miss. You're right there at the entrance of Hall 3, and you always do something interesting. We're going to shoot a video of your sort of your Technicolor umbrella. I'm not actually sure we're allowed to call it Technicolor because I think it's a company, but Technicolor umbrella. And then we'll shoot videos of all the different stuff that you're showing to kind of give people who are not there a feel for what you're showing there. But obviously people are going to want to know, so, you know, we are from inside the industry. We're going to want to know some stuff about the products and the way, you know, so we'll make sure we shoot product videos as well.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I think, you know, the overarching themes, but to your point, they have to be supported by specific products, right?
Yeah.
The overarching themes that you're going to see from us are incredible color, right? Because we're three chip from everything from an $800 projector up to an $80,000 projector. So color is going to play a big role. And then what we found in today's world, our viewing distances are getting much closer.
Yeah.
So whether it's the 810 that we'll be highlighting, you know, the 0.16, right? The 0.16 throw. So that can be really close to the wall and still throw an 80, 100. It goes all the way up to 160 inches. And at 0.16, it's right there on the wall.
Right.
To our new fixed lens, higher resolution. So it's really a combination of color, short throws, close viewing distances, and much higher resolution, because those things have to go together. If you invite people to come closer, right, and that color's not there, if you invite people to come closer and that resolution's not there, that experience isn't what, you know, they hoped it'd be. So today is really a coming together of much higher resolution than anything we've ever put out there, much shorter throws than anything we've ever launched, and a continued refinement of color.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I interestingly, I hope the consultants are getting the message that you can sit people closer to the screen now with the higher density of pixels. And I think that, you know, when we originally taught people to make sure they were far away from the screen, it was to make sure you didn't see the pixels. But now you can't unless you're standing up against the screen. And so you can move people, you can move the front row closer to the wall. So that's something to keep in mind as we grow in projection. Everyone should keep that in mind. That's the one thing projection can do that LED can't do, and it's a long way away from do, is make it where you can sit close to it and not see the squares. You can't not see the pixels. And then of course the heat issues with LED. So I definitely am excited to come by the booth. Of course, we've been speaking to Gavin Downey, group product manager at Epson. He's going to be over there at ISE in Barcelona. We'll be there with the EMEA team as well. Gavin, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Great to see you, Gary. Thanks.
Yeah, great to see you. And of course, all of our ISE coverage is at ravepubs.com/ISE. Everyone, thanks for watching.